Hello, my name is Samantha Otino, and for this week I wanted to do a video. Um, this paper has been a little hard for me to write as I just lost my father a couple of months ago. So talking about him is a little hard for me to do, but we're going to do it in a video to make it a little easier for me. Uh, so when thinking about parenting styles, my parents were two completely different parents. Um, My mother was a full-time stay-at-home mom, so her kind of parenting was more of an authoritative parent. She was sensitive, but at the same time, we knew our limits and we knew the structure and we knew what was right and what was wrong and what not to do and what was right to do because she instilled that in us. Whereas my father, was more of an authoritarian parent. Um, he wasn't around a lot. He worked two full-time jobs, and Sundays was his day off, and that was always the day that I dreaded because that kind of parenting style did not work with me. He expected us to just listen to him. Everything that he said goes, and that it was all about what he wanted. And I was a very sensitive child, so that didn't work for me. Um, and then you think to parental ethnotheories, which is the parental cultural belief system. And I think to my grandparents, I think generational of how my father was raised. My father was raised in a very authoritarian parental upbringing, whereas my mother, I would say, grew up in more of a permissive parenting role. My grandmother on my mom's side was very warm and nurturing. There was not really anything that they could or could not do, but my grandmother always kept them safe. I myself feel I don't have any children, but I am a full-time nanny. So I do spend a lot of my time using parenting styles. And I would say that my parenting style is an authoritative parent because coming from a child development background, I am very aware of where a child should be with their maturity levels, and as well as I'm very sensitive to a child, but at the same time, I am very structured and I do know what the child should be doing versus what's wrong. And they know that too. They know not to overstep with me, which is good because I set those boundaries with them. Finally, I found on greatschools.org that authoritative parents have been found to have the most effective parenting style in all sorts of ways: academic, social, emotional, and behavioral. They expect a lot from their children, but they also expect even more from their own behavior. And that sentence right there completely embodies everything that I believe. That a child needs to take responsibility for their own behavior, but it's also up to me to instill those boundaries in a child.